Welcome, welcome. Two for the price of one. Can you imagine? You don't know how long it took for this arrangement to happen, but it's happening. And it's happening for you. And welcome to Rabbi Shalom and myself to give you the insights of the world, not just in a Jewish lens, but in an American lens, in a lens of a democracy, in a lens of how we should live, how should we react. Topic of the day, let's go. Give us a little bit introduction.
A little introduction about ourselves. Whoever doesn't know, we, part of the Jewish community here in Kew Garden Hills, deal a lot with outreach.
Correct.
Grew up in the system.
Yes.
The yeshivish system. Kind of branched out. Didn't continue in the yeshivish system. Found our way back in. Each one in a different way.
Correct.
More of a Hasidish way versus more of a, Sephardi, Lithuanian way.
Correct.
And
which is true, there's not a contradiction.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a contradiction.
People look at it like you got to be in a box. No such thing. Judaism is very diverse and very colorful. We have to learn how to make ourselves fit in with our way of derech without becoming too much of one extreme, but accepting everyone for who they are.
Unfortunately, the way Haredi Judaism is brought up, it's very black and white.
Correct.
Either you fit into the system, or you're considered an outsider.
Correct.
And many times the outsiders just get pushed off, and they never find their way back.
And then
or Hashem makes them find their way back.
Correct.
Some people don't get the hint. And I think our work mostly in Lamanachai, whatever we do, is kind of like to deal with those people who are considered outsiders. Tell them you're still in the loop.
Correct. My Rebbe always say Stom had a talent. What was their talent? They used to remind you that you belong in a box.
Stom, how was that?
Like you didn't fit the bed? Don't worry. Come into the bed. We'll either stretch you or slice you. We'll make you fit in our parameters. And usually they would suffer and they would die. Because the reality is the box is the biggest destruction. As long as you go by the guidelines of the Torah, you follow the Masorah, everything else is just a destruction.
Many people would argue that that the parameters and the structure is put into place, dafka, so that a person should grow.
Correct.
So where do those people who don't fit in, how do they grow?
So let's go back to the source. The parameters and the box was created in more of a Lithuanian way, the more of the European derech of lifestyle, and they did it for good reason. They did it because there was a lot of people that were doing things that were out of the ordinary, things that made people doubt and question God, doubt and question the Torah. So they had to do it in order to make people go in a certain way so they shouldn't lose Masorah. Nowadays, what is it actually doing is the exact opposite. It's putting the people in the box and saying everything else is not good besides this. And as we see, with the greatest gift we have in this generation, which is also the greatest problem, is the amount of knowledge and information that we have is endless. That's how we have information, but we have no soul in this generation. Last generation, they had full of soul, but they had no information. How big were the Lithuanian yeshivas? How big were any yeshivas? 50, 60 students? By most? Nowadays, a small kol has more than that.
So you say there's a lot of quantity but no quality.
Correct. The quality of things have been destroyed due to the fact that everything has to be systematic.
But you could also argue that we're part of that institution because we're always feeding people so much information. So maybe it's good to not feed people so much information. With AI, you don't even know what's real anymore.
Correct.
You could post today talking about current events. You wake up one morning and suddenly you find these Americans swooping into a different country, and they just steal this guy out of bed with his wife. I saw the video. The poor woman, she's in her PJs. She's coming off a airplane. Cecile Maduro.
And then you have the same protesters that protest against Black Lives Matter, and then they press going defunding the police, and then they protest against the Palestine, and they protest on Venezuela right now.
Yeah.
Same protesters. You don't know already what's real or what's fake, even within the people, because everything is a system. That's my point.
And at the same time, the Rambam also says when Mashiach comes, knowledge will flood the world like the sea.
Correct.
So how do we find our pathway to the true knowledge? Is it just Judaism? or is it something more not in a box?
It's debekut, and that's what has been very much forgotten.
Is Judaism a religion?
No.
Then what is it?
The reason why it's not a religion is because also non-Jews have Olam Haba, in a sense. They have Gan Eden.
Okay, so how do they
In
have
every
Olam Haba?
in every religion, there are conditions that you have to accept them, and then you have salvation. Judaism is not like that. Is you be you and stop being someone else, and you will have salvation.
And that's a rule of life.
Correct.
A man has to know that he has to be a man. She stop trying to be a woman. A woman has to stop trying to be a woman. She has to be a man. She has to be a woman.
Correct. It's not about being a Jew or not being a Jew, being a Gentile, not being a Gentile. These things are modern day explanations of what it is. God is the creator of the world, and he loves all of his creations. As we see when the Egyptians were drowning, he told the Jews, stop singing to the angels, right? He told the angels, Tov'im bayam. My creations that I've made is drowning in the water, and you guys are celebrating. I understand the humans that are suffering. Okay, it's good because they had a sense of connection, so they're leaving their bondage. But you angels, how can you do that? So in God's eyes, God, one God, in His eyes, everyone's important.
Everybody has a place.
Correct.
In the world.
And to say that if you are not like me, then you're considered nothing, we adapt this very straightforward. We adapt this from that ideology of Avodah Zarah, that you have to fit in a box.
So you're saying that it's good to integrate into the world. Don't live in a box as a Jew. Don't stay in the ghetto. You're saying go out there, integrate.
I think that's what the Avot.
Outreach.
I think that's what the Avot did. Look at Avraham Avinu. What did he do?
Yeah, but that was Avraham Avinu. That was our forefather. I mean, we don't have the kelim, we don't have the vessels that he had to deal with the outside world like he did.
I think the opposite. I think
he was one man versus the world.
Yeah, but I think the fact that we are from him, we have not only do we have the kelim, we also have the proper guidance in order not to fail, because we have something called Masorah. True Masorah is the Torah. That is the Masorah.
You just said not to. You just said dvekud, now you're saying it's the Torah.
So I'm going to explain to you. Avram Avinu's chukah, in order, his desire in order to get attached to the truth, was his fiery burning inside of him to find a purpose and a dvekud to the God. What am I doing? What am I living for? What is the purpose of everything if it's not to seek my Creator and connect to Him? So where does Masorah come into place? So you don't stray away. It's like Muktzah. Muktzah is a Derabanan. It's not a Deoraita.
Muktzah is the Rabbanan.
Yeah. Why?
Explain what that means.
Muktzah is certain things on Shabbat that the rabbis put Gadaev, they put a fence around in order for us not to actually go over a prohibition of the Sabbath, of Shabbat. So they put certain gateways that will help us not do it, like touching money. In the time of the Nevi'im, they were touching money, as the Navi says, until which prophet came and said, no more shopping? They closed the shuk.
It wasn't a prophet, Nehemiah, or, Nehemiah. Nehemiah, he was the leader of the Jewish people of the Second Temple in the beginning, during the Persian occupation, let's call it. And the Persian Empire under Darius was ruling over, Judea. It was not called Palestine back then. Palestine was a Roman, invention. Pax Palestina was named after the Philistine, the arch nemesis of the Jewish people. When the Romans kicked us out, they wanted to not just kick the Jews out, but give them a reminder. They wanted to belittle them, that it's really your ancient enemies, named the Plishtim, the Philistines. They lived on the border. They had 5 cities. One of them was Gaza, or Azza, and they're gone. They're not here today. They're finished.
I think Rashi says they were blonde and blue eyes. They were light skinned.
I never seen that Rashi, but they were a coastal people.
Correct.
They
worship the fish.
In part, the mermaid, merman.
Like how they say that the Pope's hat is also shaped as a fish.
Well, the Pope has shaped like a fish because Yoshka's JC's earliest sign was a fish.
2 fishes.
Yeah. So that's why actually, if you go shopping in Israel, be very careful on the mezuzahs, this and that. One way you could tell if it's a missionary selling it is that they put a fish on it. Why dafka fish he chose? There's many different theories, but the early church fathers, the symbol of Christianity was not a cross, which is itself a very interesting thing. Why would they choose the very symbol in which he died to represent them? But the symbol was a fish.
It's because they hold it that he died for our sins.
He was the sacrifice.
It was a salvation.
Yeah, people don't know. I mean, maybe this is a podcast within itself. We could talk about the three main religions: Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. But people don't know is that if
you need a series for that one, not just the podcast.
If you read the book, A History of the Jews, not by a Jewish guy, Paul something, very, very interesting book. He writes actually that Yoshka, JC, was his main issue with the Jews, with the box, as we say, was that he was against the Beit HaMikdash. His whole idea was that the Beit HaMikdash the temple was a very corrupted place, which it was. It was corrupted because of the Kohanim and the Hashmonaim era. And basically you should do away with the Beit HaMikdash, because the Beit HaMikdash caused there to be classes in Israel. There's Kohanim, there's Leviim, there's Israelim, and there's Mamzerim, and he himself was a Mamzer, at least according to some opinions. Because in Judaism, if a person's father is a Goy and your mother is a Jew, you're not a Mamzer.
Yeah.
You're a kosher Jew, actually. But people, they make a misconception. They think anytime a woman has a child outside of her marriage, it's considered a mamzer. It's not true halachically. But the point is that his major issue was the Beit HaMikdash. He said, do away with the class. Same thing with communists say today. In many ways, Yoshka was the first communist.
Yes, he was.
He believed that there should be socialism. He should believe that everybody should be
equal.
That's why his main followers were the beggars, and like it says itself in the New Testament, whatever version you want. So he said to do away with all the qada, and his death became the Beis HaMikdash. He became the Beis HaMikdash.
Correct. He became the lamb that was sacrificed.
That's why in some ways, I don't like to talk about this too much. We also want the Beis HaMikdash, we want the Beis HaMikdash, we want the Beis HaMikdash, but we don't understand with the Beis HaMikdash is going to come a lot of new challenges. We're not ready for those challenges yet. So there's some people, some podcasters out there, especially in the Jewish world, they're screaming and yelling that America is done for. New York, which is the home of over 1 million Jews, is done for. We have to move to Israel right away. It's going to be over here. Maybe not Nazi Germany 1930s and 40s, but it's going to be very close to what is Germany today. Where I spoke to a guy coming to our shul lately. He's a German guy. Grew up in Germany, moved here when he was 18, 19. I told him, how was it really in Germany? He's like, you can't walk outside looking like a Jew. You will get attacked. You will get attacked over there. You have to hide the fact that you're Jewish. If you're not in the Jewish shtetl, if you're not in the Jewish ghetto, you have to hide the fact that you're a Jew. I think today it's not that different. If you go to the train station, if you take the
EDF.
Yeah, and you have to hide that you're Jew. You have to wear a hat on. Looking like a Jew, you will garner a lot of attention. But once again, back to the Beis HaMikdash. Are we ready?
Do you think that's because? Why do you think it's because we're Jewish, or they associate it with the excuse of Zionism?
Zionism itself is an excuse. It's anti-Semitism is the oldest religion in the book.
Correct.
Okay, everything they say, they said we didn't have a country, we were cosmopolitans, so we were the enemy of the world because we're all over and we're trying to grab everything. Just today, with the whole thing with Maduro when he was taken by the U.S. forces, brought to New York like a common criminal. His vice president that was taken, the interim vice president, who was
the lady.
Her name was what's her name? Something Rodriguez. She gets up and is like,
look it up. What's her name?
What's her name? Yeah, what's her name? Cecile maybe, or something with the CH.
Okay.
And she's like, this is the Zionist work.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Because you believe this? Like, you're sitting over here in the 21st century, like after all the blood libels and everything, and these people are just feeding into so much hate. What's her name? So much hate. So it's a disaster. And she gets up, and Venezuelans, they're not lovers of Jews. They're not. Today, the only country that probably likes Jews is Somaliland, which is I don't know if even it's a real country. Somali, it broke apart.
We should visit Minnesota.
Yeah.
I might have some.
I think that's Somalis.
I might have applications for the daycares over there, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, 50 million for one daycare, and the day before they lost the papers.
Rodriguez?
Huh?
Delcy,
there you go. Delcy Rodriguez. She gets up and she says that it's the Zionists were the ones who did it. Now, just the ripple effect of that anti-Semitism, what will that cause in the world? People don't understand it. We believe in Judaism, all this God is doing to us. Correct. We don't believe that it's them.
Correct.
And you know what the funny thing is that, in Bondi Beach, we already forgot about it. When they massacred 16 people, 15 Jews on Hanukkah, the first night of Hanukkah, and one guy just found out that he was Jewish, and he put on his tefillin for the first time in his life, and he was killed on Bondi Beach. When the whole thing happened, one of the person that was killed was a French Jew who made Yerida to Australia to run away from anti-Semitism in France.
He was scared there,
yeah. And the crazy thing is that where did he actually meet his demise? On Kiddush Hashem, of course, the place where he ran away from anti-Semitism. So that's why, I always, when people talk about making Aliyah to Israel, which is one of the greatest mitzvot in the world, we could talk about, is it a real mitzvah chiyuvis, mitzvah kiyumis, mitzvah this, mitzvah that? Is it, how come nobody speaks about it? Do they have to speak about it,
Is it a mitzvah?
Is it a mitzvah at all, right? But at the same time, we have to understand, if you're going to move to Israel because you're running away from anti-Semitism, if God wants a person to go on Kiddush Hashem, it doesn't matter if he lives in France or Australia, it will meet him. His legs will take him to the place he needs to go.
Correct.
So, this whole situation in New York right now, what will that bring us, the Jews in New York? What is the ripple effect to us?
Especially now.
With Zohar al-Mamdani. The
Correct.
first thing that he did in office, he repelled the law, the executive law by Mayor Adams. And when Mayor Adams came into power, everybody was very afraid of Adams. They thought that he was
a whack job.
And I understood that he wasn't, because the first people that endorsed him were Hasidic Jews. You know what I mean? And he went straight into power. But the problem is he went into cahoots with Trump at the end to save his own hide. And he fell off the bandwagon with the Democrats.
But the Hasidim also, they endorsed Mamdani too.
Whatever the Hasidim did by endorsing Mamdani might have given him the election. That was the difference, that 60,000 whatever votes that was probably the thing that tipped the scale. So those sect of Jews who did that, they have to do a very big cheshbon hanefesh. We believe everything is from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the hishtadlus that happened is what happened, but why? So this is actually something you could answer. Why do these Hasidim, they keep on playing devil's advocate? And they keep on, why can't they accept that the state of Israel is here to stay? Why can't they accept that fact? Do they believe that it has to be destroyed? Is that what they believe?
Yes, and I think every Ben Torah, every Yirat Shamayim understands the fact that the state of Israel is really klipa v'sitra achra. Now, there's a big difference.
Wait, first of all, let's translate what you just said.
Yeah.
You have another Instagram page, is that true? Yeah. What's it called? Life with the Gadaev. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I thought you were going to start this podcast with good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. That's what I thought. So you believe, you're saying what they believe or what you believe?
I'm saying
what every Jew believes?
What every Orthodox obeying Jew that follows the Torah mitzvot understand this one small concept.
That the state of Israel is klipa and sitra achra.
Not the people.
The institution.
Correct. Now there's a big difference. This is
so are you Neturei Karta? You're going to lose a lot of followers.
This is where it needs to be
clarified. Where it needs to be clarified.
This is a very big educational thing. The land, Eretz Yisrael, belongs to the Jewish people. That's not the question.
From where? From where to where?
From beyond the river and beyond the sea.
From beyond the river and beyond the sea. Okay,
correct.
All right.
That belongs to us.
Where is this written?
In inheritance
where is this written?
From Avraham Avinu.
But the Ishmaelites say, the Arabs say we're not the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov. They say we're fakers.
No,
we're too white.
No, they can't. First of all, we're not European.
We're not European.
We're not European.
Do you agree? Are you European?
We're
You're
not.
Mizrahi.
We're in borderline Mizrahi and Central Asian. That's what we are.
Did you once take a DNA
I
test?
did take a DNA.
What did it
test.
say?
It's Persian, Iraqi, and Levantine. That's where our DNA comes from.
So you're a pure Israeli Jew, you're saying?
We came from Judea and Samaria. It's not a question. We are Jews, lechalutin, 100%. But there's a very big difference between Zionism and Judaism.
What if I tell you that the first Zionist was a religious Sephardi Jew in the 19th century?
Correct. So this is
That he coined the term Zionim.
I think we are the true Zionists.
So you're saying there is an idea of Zionism.
What does it mean? We say it every day in davening 3 times. Hamachazir shchinato letzion.
So you believe? So you're saying you're beyond Zionism. You're even more extreme than Zionists.
Correct.
You're saying that the whole land of Israel, from the Euphrates, Perat, there's 4 rivers that come out of Gan Eden.
Correct.
Right?
Gihon,
Gihon, Pishon, there's a
okay.
Nile. Gihon, Chidekel, and Prat. Prat is the Euphrates. I believe Gihon is the Tigris. Chidekel, I'm not sure which river it is, but Pishon is the Nile. All right, these 4 rivers come out of Gan Eden.
Correct.
And God told Avram from Perat, from the Euphrates, because he comes from the other side of the river. That's why it's called an Ivri, or in Russian they say Ivrei. He comes from the other side of the river. So that side, the Euphrates, all the way till the Yam Gadol.
Correct.
Parashat Matot Maseh Yegvulchem. That is your thing.
Correct.
So basically, the whole Fertile Crescent, the whole Mesopotamia,
Correct.
that belongs to every single Yid.
Correct.
Right of return
100%.
belongs to us. What happens to all the people that live there?
They are more than welcome to live there. How I said.
Oh, it's basic.
Judaism is not a religion. We're not.
It's a worldwide movement.
It's a worldwide way of life. You can live there.
What's the main aspect of this worldwide way of life?
If you can live there if you are a law-abiding citizen of God.
Could you still be an Arab and live in Israel?
100%.
Could he believe in Allah?
He should believe in
He
Allah.
should believe in Allah.
Correct.
So basically, we got to take out the murder.
We have to keep the Sheva Mitzvot B'nai Noach.
Got to keep the
for
so
goyim.
that's a very important thing. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, I think, was a very big advocate of teaching the
goyim.
whole world the 7 mitzvot, which basically half of them they already do.
Correct.
Right? Don't kill, don't steal, believe in one God, no incest or homosexuality. That might be a problem in our generation.
Okay.
All right. Have a don't animal cruelty,
Correct.
which doesn't mean that you can't eat animals. It means you cannot eat an animal
That's
while it's alive. All right. So oysters, X.
Have judges and policemen.
There's a policeman. Did we miss anything?
One more. I forgot right now.
I think we said them all.
Okay, but
So as long as you keep this normal, natural state of laws,
Correct.
you could be Somali.
yes,
You could live in Israel.
you can-
I believe Rabban Gamliel had a very famous slave called Tavi,
Yes.
and he was Somali.
He was in that family range.
He was in this family of. Okay, so how are we ending our podcast today? We said a lot of ideas. We talked about history. We talked about the community.
we spewed a lot of things.
A lot of information.
But we have to understand something, that Judaism is not a cult.
You heard it here first. We don't live in a cult.
Judaism is a way of life. And what we want is to attract ourselves and to be connected to God. This is an open conversation. Thank you. And
So please subscribe. Welcome to our new channel. We'll let you know shortly the next time we'll be around.